Do you guys know the famous quote by Cher where she says, "Well, I love men"?
Yes.
Why don't you say it for us?
Does anyone know the full quote?
I know what you're
I
talking
couldn't
about.
quote it.
Why
Yeah,
don't you
it's like, I love men, but I don't need them to live. I think.
Actually, you do.
No, it's.
What, do you agree with her or you disagree?
No. It's just a very iconic, famous feminist quote
why
of her
bring it
talking
up?
about. Because in my perspective, I do love men. I have had great relationships with men. I love my father. I think he's an amazing man.
But
I think that it's okay for me to also think that there are some aspects of misogyny in life, the same way a man could say that, maybe I'm sorry if I said something sexist towards men. I didn't have that intention. I was just sharing my own perspectives of how I felt like I was being treated.
okay, so riffing off of the Cher thing, do we need men?
I think all societies grow from diversity and from inclusivity. So yeah, of course you need men. I mean, procreation. Men are a part of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've needed a lot of the great men in my life. I just think it's a silly interpretation of how people think women perceive those relationships. Like, oh, I love men, but I also hate men. It's not like that. I've never felt like I hated
I'm
any
just a
group
little confused
of
why
people.
you brought up the Cher thing, because in the quote she essentially says, I don't need men.
I think
or she's like, I forgot, someone asked her the question, do we need men or something, and she says for what?
She says, I am a rich man. Her joke is that there's a notion in society that women only need men for money.
Or to be successful.
And I disagree
well,
with that.
you actually need men to survive.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
I was using her to reference kind of a very famous, iconic, perceived feminist quote. She has gotten that was a very famous introduction to the I hate men movement. I would concur.
Are you in favor of her statement?
No, I'm just playing off of it to be playful. Why is everything so serious, bro?
No, I'm confused why you're bringing it up.
It's a silly, funny thing where she's saying she's equally successful as rich men.
That's not. Hold on, I don't know if we're talking about the same thing.
Her joke is, I love men. But I don't need them to live. I told my mom. She said to marry a rich man, and I told my mom I am a rich man.
Hold on.
Yeah, just look it up. I think it's a funny, it's kind of a cute interpretation that she had of her own success.
I think so. She was asked, "Do you think men are important?" And Cher responded by saying, for what? As if to dismiss that men are important.
What is the rest of the quote? That's not the quote that I brought up.
That's the most notable one.
Okay, but if I brought up a different quote by her, and
okay,
that's your most notable quote,
two different things.
Why are we talking about two different things? And why are you accusing me of something?
Well, you should have been more precise, I suppose, but...
She is equating herself to men.
Okay, we're talking
she's
about
constantly
iconic.
Then. Okay, whatever. Forget the whole topic. I strayed away from my original point.
Well, then I'll just ask the question then. Do you think we need men?
Sure. I need men.
Okay.
I have a love-hate relationship with men.
You have a love-hate relationship with men? Okay.
Can you guys also tell us what you need them for as you go around the table?
To reproduce. Yeah.
What about survival? Do you guys agree that every woman at this table needs men to survive?
I think men can be good protectors, but a lot of
I don't even mean on an individual, like your boyfriend. I'm not talking about that level. I'm talking at a societal level. You do realize that all of you need men to survive. No. I'm not talking about, hold on. I'm talking in the short term here. I'm not talking about reproduction. Absolutely. Men would need women to reproduce also.
I think getting rid of half of the population would be detrimental. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. What? Yes. What?
Yeah, I agree that we need men now because, they're half the population. If you were to go back to the beginning of history and for some reason men just never really existed, women probably would have built up their own infrastructure and civilization, but that's not how it happened. So yeah, we need men to continue.
Where would they have done this?
I said if men didn't exist. Obviously, they would have had to do it if men didn't exist.
Yeah, they would have. Where could they have done this?
What do you mean? On planet Earth? I'm saying
Yeah,
if you
so
went back
there are physiological differences between men and women. You would have to concede that that's true, correct?
well, if men didn't exist, the physiological differences wouldn't matter.
No, they would still very much matter. Even if men did not exist, they would still matter. Even if you
How?
reproduced asexually, your physiological differences would still matter. That's survival of the fittest, right?
Yeah, so then I guess, I mean, men wouldn't even factor into the equation. It would be the physiological
They wouldn't
differences
need
between
to,
women.
because women are not capable of building the kind of infrastructure that men can due to
Disagree.
simple things like heat regulation.
Disagree.
You disagree
Oh,
with
really?
what?
You disagree?
Yes.
No, then give me a counterexample of when women
There is
built
no-
any
there is no
civilization.
counterexample
I'll,
because men
fill
exist.
out why you give me one.
Had higher test scores.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
like,
Yeah,
that
can you
kinda
give me an
contradicts
example
what
of
you're
when
saying.
women built a civilization?
I mean, small
just one.
civilizations, yes, but I'm saying if men never existed, women would have had
Mm-hmm.
to do it. Obviously, that's not the way it turned out. So no, I can't give you an example because men, because of the physiological differences, have been dominant throughout all of history.
Great. So let's engage with this under your terms. Let's assume for a second that women were asexual, could reproduce on their own, and still have the same physical prowess that they have to date, modern women. Can you explain to me how they would build a society?
The exact same way that men have. I mean, like, being slightly less physically strong, maybe our houses would be made
oh, no,
out of
they're
like...
not slightly less.
Okay,
physically
maybe our
strong.
houses
They're
would be made out of like
overwhelmingly.
straw instead of steel. I don't know. Like, I don't think...
You don't
that-
know.
I know, of course I don't. I'm not an anthropologist. I'm not a historian. No,
Do you
I
think that
don't
they
know.
would like take care of all the roads and all the infrastructure and all of these things? You think
I
that
do
they could do
believe-
that easily?
Yes, if men didn't exist, obviously, yes.
Yeah. And what do you think those roads would look like?
Probably like normal roads. I don't know.
Essentially, you think that men and women are interchangeable widgets. And were it that men just did not exist and women were asexual, that women could basically do all of the things that men could do.
Essentially, we're not gonna know because this is a hypothetical.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's pointless.
We
like,
can argue
The
as much as we
hypothetical is
want,
designed
but
to test the
we're not
logic.
gonna know.
So I'm
It hasn't
testing your
happened.
logic right now by asking you
I
this
think-
question. If women could reproduce asexually, do you think that essentially they would build the same exact types of societies that we see now?
I don't think it would look exactly the same. No, I think there would have to be, there would be workarounds to certain things. But I mean, like,
Like what kind of things?
What if women did it better? What if we did it worse? We're not gonna know.
That's a great question.
Great
I'm
hypothetical.
entertaining this.
like
what would women do
lifting
better?
heavy- I mean,
I
the
can't wait
thing
to
is,
hear
like,
it.
the pyramids. The people who built
The
the pyramid.
pyramid?
The people who built the pyramids couldn't lift the heavy bricks on their own either. They had to make pulleys and things to lift them.
Yeah, but
Women
surely
could have
women
invented
could
those
do that too, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, so essentially, society would look exactly the same. It would just be built by people who you think are just slightly weaker. So you think that, again,
Yes,
we are interchangeable widgets. It's just that
Theoretically,
men are a
I
little bit
think
stronger.
if we were reproducing asexually,
Sure.
it would be survival of the fittest. So we would, in terms, like have bigger women being
Yeah.
able to pull things due to evolution.
Here, let me get through some chats
Wait,
here.
hang on. Do you know how long evolution takes?
So many.
Oh, yeah. When we're talking about modern civilization has existed for, I don't know, about 500 years,
At least
right?
since the
What we would
wheel.
consider some kind of modernity. But civilization itself didn't spring up, recorded civilization, until about 11,000 years ago. Homo sapiens came around about 350,000 years ago. So that's a long, long, long time.
It is.
But assuming all things equal, women were in the exact same space that they're in right this second, with the exact same physical strength that they have right now, what do you think society would look like?
I think it would be great. We got those muscle mommies out there.
Oh, they would just build all them roads, right?
I think it would probably look similar. Yes.
Yeah, it would look similar. Okay. I'll just leave it there.
Cool.
Thank you.